When did 30 parents storm into the principal's office together? And I was sitting in detention that Thursday when they marched through Jefferson Middle School like soldiers. My seat outside Principal Morrison's office giving me front row access. And Mrs. Coleman's coffee mug crashed when she saw them. And Mrs. Liu announced they were here to see Morrison immediately. All of them, right now. And Morrison came out expecting one upset parent, but his face went pale counting 30. Tried saying they should schedule meetings, but Mrs. Liu cut him off saying they were done with meetings that went nowhere. Done with emails he ignored, done with protecting what was happening, and they filed into the conference room. And through the windows, I watched Mrs. Blue pull a folder laying documents on the table, each making Morrison sink lower while parents pulled out phones building this mountain of evidence. And certain words carried through the glass. Systematic, negligence, cover-up, and then one that made my stomach drop. Mr. Brennan, the 8th grade teacher parents loved, but us kids knew something was off with the girls. The way he'd lean over their desks, keeping students after class for help that never helped. His inappropriate comments, and Morrison had known. And Mrs. Ramirez showed her phone with something that made parents gasp while Morrison tried leaving, but Mr. Nakamura blocked the door. And Mrs. Liu put her phone on speaker saying Superintendent Wallace was driving over. And my phone buzzed with texts asking why so many cars were there. And I watched my mom speaking to Morrison, whose face went from denial to fear while parents cried. And Officer Dale showed up positioning himself protecting them. And that's when the side door opened and Mr. Brennan walked in, froze seeing the packed conference room, parents turning to stare, the silence so complete I could hear the wall clock. And Brennan's face went from confusion to recognition to fear. He turned to leave, but Officer Dale blocked the exit. And Morrison called out for Brennan to join them. And Brennan walked in like a condemned man. And Mrs. Liu pulled out an even thicker folder that turned his face white. And Superintendent Wallace arrived and Mrs. Coleman gasped, saying, "Channel 7 just pulled up, a news van because someone leaked this." The parents had come for war, and Morrison put his head in his hands. And at 4:30, a lawyer and detective arrived, and Brennan looked terrified. And the lawyer laid out a legal case while the detective took notes. And Morrison sat there looking like his world was crumbling. And more news vans arrived. And at 5 out, 2 police officers positioned themselves outside, clear this had crossed into criminal territory. And Brennan saw them and half stood, but the detective looked at him sharply. And Wallace stood to speak. And when he finished, Morrison slowly stood, removed his school keys, placed them on the table with a soft clink, and walked out without his belongings. Career over, and officers escorted Brennan out. And as they passed, I heard you have the right to remain silent. And parents watched as he was placed in the police car. My mom exhausted. And the next morning, school was chaos. And the story trickled out. 12 girls had reported incidents over 2 years. Morrison documented each, but filed them away claiming misunderstandings. Until one parent discovered hidden files when their daughter found them and took photos. That led to parents comparing notes, realizing the pattern. They spent 6 weeks gathering evidence, tried proper channels, but when nothing happened, they organized this confrontation to make it impossible to ignore. And 3 weeks later, criminal charges against Brennan were announced. Morrison took early retirement. The district implemented new policies, and Mrs. Liu formed a parent advocacy group that still meets. And the phrase "pulling a Jefferson" entered local vocabulary, meaning parents taking collective action. And someone put up a plaque that said October 15th, Parents United for Change. The administration tried removing it, but it kept reappearing. A reminder that people in charge only have power the community allows. And sometimes it takes 30 parents storming into the principal's office together to remind everyone of that fact.